Welcome to the 1204. I am not anti cosmetic facial procedures. Whether a woman wants to get new teeth put into her mouth, whether she wants to put filler in her lips, cheek filler, Botox, facelift, etc., etc. I'm not actually against it. And believe it or not, it can actually enhance one's looks. But the problem is, people that do that stuff to themselves, they do not know when to call it quits. They don't know when to stop. And then it gets to the point where the person who has had all this stuff done to themselves, they start to look very uncanny and damn right terrifying. Some of you people are walking around looking like something out of a horror movie. And I'm not even saying that to be insulting. I am being serious. Some of you people look very, very strange in the face. And a lot of you women who do excess cosmetic procedures to their face, some of you don't even resemble women anymore. You now look like trans, you now look like trans people. And when I say trans people, I mean the trans people from like back in the day of like the Jerry Springer show. They look like that. You people look ridiculous. I have to be honest here. At work, there's a lot of white women who their side profile, their lips look like Pringles. It look like they got two Pringles in their mouth from their side profile. And these are young chicks who are like 21, doing all of that stuff to their face. You look uncanny and strange. The other day, I went to go and see a brass. For those of you who do not know what a brass means, it's a Cockney word. It's a old London word for a prostitute. So I went to see a brass, and the first time I saw that brass, I've seen them multiple times, but the first time I saw that brass was we're talking about 2010. But obviously, 2010, we're talking like what, 16 years ago? That's almost 2 decades. And obviously, people are not getting any younger. I mean, I am certainly not getting any younger because I had a full head of hair in 2010. But hey, I'm not the one selling myself. So I went to see this person the other day because this brass, she gives a very good service. She might not be youthful, but her service is just top tier. So anyway, I went to go and see this brass, and when I got to the door, I was horrified, and I am not joking. Now, this person was obviously never a stranger to cosmetic surgeries, even back in the day of 2010. But like I said, cosmetic surgeries, cosmetic procedures, it's like Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop. And as this woman has been getting older, she has been doing more and more surgeries. I saw a close friend of hers who is also a brass, and the bum, the buttocks was like stone. It wasn't even jiggly anymore. It was like fucking stone. The breast was like fucking stone. Too much surgeries. So anyway, yeah, this chick, I went to her house, opened the door, and I was quite scared because the face was looking peak, looking uncanny. And I thought to myself, this person doesn't even look human anymore. Because you people, you don't know when to stop. You continue to get this thing, and then you look like a freak show. You women are walking around looking peak in the face. Do not get this, do not get it twisted. A lot of people do surgeries and they look fantastic for it. They look gorgeous for it. But there is a line, and a lot of people cross the line. And to be fair, it's not just women. Because I don't want people to think that I'm only picking on women. Let's look at Jean-Claude Van Damme. This guy has been doing cosmetic procedures for the longest time. And in the early to mid 90s, when he first started this nonsense, believe it or not, he looked good for it. You couldn't actually tell because he's young at the time. He hasn't had it done before. You can get away with it then. The problem is these people, once they pop, they don't stop. And he continued to do it. Now look at Jean-Claude Van Damme. He looks like a madman. Who's the other guy? Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke does not look normal. He also did not know when to stop. Because that's the thing. Mickey Rourke and Jean-Claude Van Damme, they did not look like that overnight. The thing about those surgeries is this. It works when you're very, very young. I remember Love Island. Not that I've watched that rubbish, but there were two girls in it. They were twins, the blonde chicks. I think they were in Love Island 2019, I think it was. And they were the blonde chicks, but they were twins. Was it Eve and I think one of them was called Eve, and the other one I can't remember her name. So you had those chicks, yeah. I'm not joking. Look at those chicks before their surgeries. Look completely different. Look at them on Love Island. They look much better than they did before their surgeries. They look much better before their surgeries. No, sorry. Forgive me. They look much better. They look much better now with their surgeries than they did before they had any surgeries. So the point I'm trying to make to you is surgeries can make you look better, but people don't know when to stop, and they continue to do this. Look at Donatella Versace. That is one of the most terrifying women ever. I'm not even sure what that is. And it's not just white women that do this nonsense. Black women are also doing it too. Look at Vivica Fox. Vivica was one of the baddest black chicks going. She was drop dead gorgeous. Now look at her. She's starting to look uncanny. What's the name of that woman that has that show? She's got a New York accent. Is it Sandra Williams? Sandra Williams. That's it, Sandra Williams. Look at Sandra Williams. The Sandra Williams show. Look at how she looked in the 90s. Because I believe that in the 90s, this was black women were not doing these things. They weren't doing these weird procedures. Plastic surgery was for white women. They'll get their tits done and their face done. Black women weren't doing that nonsense. Look at Sandra Williams right now. She looks a hot mess. You people don't know when to stop. Look at Michael Jackson. That's another person. If you look at Michael Jackson on the Smooth Criminal video, where he looks Puerto Rican, if he had stopped then, forget the fact that his skin was significantly lighter. If he had stopped then, but he didn't stop, did he? Because people that do this, once they pop, they can't stop. They continue to do it until they resemble an absolute freak show. Simon Cowell is starting to look freaky. You cannot look young forever. And plastic surgery doesn't actually make you look young. Because I know 21-year-olds who get all of these procedures done to their face, and it just makes them look older actually. You people look strange. I'm not even joking. How is your top lip how is your top lip bigger than your bottom lip? Your top lip is like Pringles. Your bottom lip is like Walker's. It doesn't make sense.